Hey everyone, welcome to our full video review for the GIGABYTE P37XV6. The first thing we need to do is talk about the specs of the device. To start things off is the Intel i7-6700HQ processor. The GPU inside is an NVIDIA GTX 1070 with 8GB of GDDR5 RAM. The memory inside is 16GB of DDR4. Storage included is a 512 M.2 SSD and a 1TB hard disk drive. It also has built-in gigabit Ethernet LAN, integrated wireless 802.11, AAC B, G, and N, and Bluetooth 4.1. The battery inside is a Li polymer at 11.1 volts. It has a built-in HD webcam above the 17.3-inch 60Hz UHD anti-glare matte type IPS screen at the resolution rate of 3840 by 2160. On the left side of the device is the Kensington lock, Ethernet port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, an SD card reader, and 2 3.5mm ports for a microphone and headset. On the right side, you will find a mini display port, 1 USB 3.0 port, 1 USB 3.1 Type-C port, an HDMI port, a D-sub port, and the plug-in spot for the power adapter. On the front, there is a drive slot for the disk drive and for the interchangeable hard disk drive mounting tray. The keyboard has a very good tactile feel, which results in a great typing experience. There are 5 programmable buttons on the far left that can be used for a variety of things in games or in programs. There is a small amount of flex on the board, but nothing major. The screen opens to around 130 degrees and has great viewing angles since it is an IPS panel and the colors are rich with good black levels. The touchpad is an all-in-one with the left and right click built into the bottom and has a smooth matte finish. Included in the box with the P37 are included user manual and driver CDs, and there is a DVD slot drive insert that can be used to let you swap out the DVD drive for another hard drive on the fly, and the included power cables. The total weight of the device with the included power cables totals 8 pounds if you wanted to tote around this device on the go. As for the temperatures of the device, heat builds up mostly at the top above the keyboard and mostly to the right side of the device, but temps stay cool over by WASD. All air from the coolers is dispersed out the back at the far sides away from the user and the rest of the device. As for the volume of the fans while gaming, we had readings at the front of the laptop at around 49 decibels. Moving our meter up close in front, we saw an increase to around 55. And at the rear of the device where the fans exhaust their heat, we had readings at 65 decibels. As for our benchmark test, we started things off with Firestrike, which scored 12,332, which is 83% better than all results, which is a good score for this laptop. Next, we moved things on to Cinebench and ran OpenGL first and averaged 102 FPS. And then for the CPU test, we scored 680 CB. On the left, you can see where this compares to similar processors. Next, we ran Crystal Disk to get read and write speeds for the solid-state drive and the hard disk drive. The solid-state drive read at 1702 and wrote at 1564, which is very fast and is a very quick drive. The hard disk drive inside read at 117.9 and wrote at 112.4, which is pretty average for a 1TB hard disk drive. Moving on to our real-world tests, we decided to test every game that we ran at the native resolution of 4K because the device is monitored. So starting with Gears of War, we ran it on medium, high, and on ultra, averaging 49, 42, and 30 FPS. During the tests, the GPU saw temperatures of 84 degrees, and the CPU saw temps at around 72 degrees Celsius. Our next test was Grand Theft Auto 5. We ran it maxed out with no MSAA and saw 56 FPS. Next, we ran it with the advanced settings and still no MSAA and averaged 50 FPS. And then finally, we turned the advanced settings off with MSAA at ×4 and averaged 33 FPS. The GPU was at 88 degrees Celsius and the CPU was running at 82 degrees. For our next test, we decided to run Rise of the Tomb Raider, but on its high settings and not its very high settings. First with FXAA, and it ran 41 FPS, then with SMAA at 37 FPS, and then with SSAA at ×2 at 26 FPS. The GPU ran at 86 degrees Celsius, and the CPU ran at 74 degrees Celsius. And finally, we ran Dirt Rally on Ultra with MSAA at ×2, 4, and ×8, and averaged 60, 52, and 41 FPS. The GPU was at 88 degrees Celsius, and the CPU was at 78. If you're looking to put a personal touch on your machine, be sure to check out our extensive customization options before checkout, including upgrades available to RAM, storage, cooling, overclocking, custom paint, hydro and graphic wraps, laser etching, and much, much more. If you'd like to take a closer look at any of the specific BIOS menus, make sure that you pause the video on any of the ones that you'd like to view closer. If not, be sure to check out our product link in the description or leave us a comment down below if you have any questions for us here at Exotic PC. I've been Andrew, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for future product overviews and reviews.